Centre Party Chairman Antti Kaikkonen warns of possible no-confidence vote against Finnish government. Bank of Finland Governor, Europeans prioritizing leisure over work hours amid economic challenges. New Finnish law proposal could accelerate battery and hydrogen plant construction without prior urban planning. Eastern Finland Court of Appeal upholds sentences in country's first far-right terrorism case. The chairman of Finland's Centre Party, Antti Kaikkonen, has issued a warning that if Prime Minister Petteri Orpo and the government do not take action in the coming days, the Centre Party will consider submitting a vote of no confidence. During a session in Parliament, Kaikkonen expressed concerns about public services and welfare regions in Finland, emphasizing the need for a statement from the Prime Minister on these issues. He also called on the government to clarify its stance on foreign and security policy, criticizing the lack of consensus among ministers on policy making. Additionally, Kaikkonen suggested that the government retract the export-based wage model, arguing that it could create wage inequality across various professions. Olli Rehn, governor of the Bank of Finland, pointed out that one of the causes of Europe's economic problems is that people want more leisure time. He noted that rising living standards have led many Europeans to choose shorter working hours for more personal time. This trend became especially clear during the COVID-19 pandemic when average weekly working hours dropped significantly and have not returned to pre-pandemic levels. Data from the Bank of Finland shows that average weekly working hours have decreased by 50 minutes compared to the end of 2019. In particular, working hours among fathers with young children have seen a notable decline, with more men taking parental leave. Rehn stated that if people want to maintain their current standard of living while working fewer hours, labor productivity must improve. He also highlighted that the slowdown in productivity growth poses a significant challenge for Europe, increasing pressure on the economy. Under Finland's new government proposal, battery and hydrogen production plants may soon be built without having to comply with prior urban planning regulations. This means that the permitting process will be shortened, similar to the regular construction permit process. The government hopes this will attract investment in environmentally friendly industries and promote the development of renewable energy in Finland. However, some local authorities are concerned that the new permitting process may reduce their control over land use and limit public participation in important decisions. The city of Kouvola has expressed concerns that this process could allow large projects to proceed without local approval, creating uncertainty in long-term planning. Additionally, there are ongoing concerns about transparency and community involvement in decision-making. Local governments argue that accelerating the process could reduce opportunities for public input. The Eastern Finland Court of Appeal upheld the sentences in the country's first terrorism case involving far-right extremists. 2 men convicted of terrorism-related offenses appealed but were unsuccessful. The man born in 1996 was sentenced to 1 year and 9 months in prison for serious firearms offenses and participating in training for terrorist activities. He requested a reduced sentence and probation, but the appeals court denied his request. The man born in 1957, known as the Rebel General, was sentenced to 1 year and 2 months in prison for firearms offenses. The court found that he had encouraged young people to commit acts of violence and prepare for a racial war. 2 other men involved in the case accepted their sentences from the lower court and did not appeal. According to a notice from the Finnish immigration service Migri, the residency requirement for obtaining Finnish citizenship will increase from 5 years to 8 years. However, in some special cases, the residency period may be shorter. Specifically, individuals who meet language proficiency requirements will only need to reside for 5 years, while citizens of Nordic countries will need only 2 years. The goal of this change is to emphasize the importance of successful integration into society. These changes are part of a reform of citizenship laws and will officially take effect Tuesday. The resignation of 3 board members from the University of Oulu has drawn attention and is seen as a sign of protest or a lack of confidence. According to Professor Jussi Kivisto from Tampere University, such an event is very rare, particularly in the 14 years since the current university law came into effect. The 3 members who resigned include Professor Johanna Asimar, lecturer Kimmo Kontio, and Professor Tena Kinnunen. These members did not publicly state the reasons for their resignation, leaving many to question the true cause. The University of Oulu's board has been facing internal divisions and conflicts for some time, especially as the remaining members have had to vote on various issues. Professor Kivisto commented that this situation does not benefit the university and could weaken unity in making important decisions. The only warehouse in Finland that stocks Tena adult diapers has burned down, affecting the supply of these products. However, a shortage of diapers is not expected, although some regions may need to redistribute supplies between units. In the South Karelia region, products have been moved between facilities to meet demand. Hanna Ronkonen, a service manager, stated that there are still enough diapers available and there is no need for individuals to purchase them from stores. Current reserves should last for a few weeks, and new orders are being processed. Finland's newly improved identity card, introduced in 2023, has replaced traditional barcodes with QR codes, causing difficulties in use in many places. Some organizations, such as health stations and shops, are unable to read the QR codes, leading to inconveniences for users. Mia Rinnair, who purchased a new card for herself and her son, expressed frustration over being unable to use the card at school or the clinic. She mentioned that had she known about these issues beforehand, she would not have bought the new identity card, feeling as though she had been misled. Learning Russian in Finland is facing difficulties due to a dwindling number of students interested in the language. The war in Ukraine has changed public perception of the Russian language, leading to a sharp decline in the number of learners. At the University of Eastern Finland, only 7 students enrolled in Russian language courses, even though 25 spots were available. Professor Larizer Lyceo expressed concern that if this trend continues, Finland's knowledge of Russia will deteriorate significantly, making it harder to maintain relations with its neighbor. Climate change is posing increasing challenges for construction projects in Finland. Extreme weather events, such as heavy rains and heatwaves, have caused damage to many buildings, especially as their ability to withstand harsh climate conditions has not improved significantly. In September, heavy rains in Migri led to major flooding, with water pouring into several buildings. According to the Finnish Environment Institute, the risk of flooding could double or triple by the end of the century. While newer buildings are generally better designed, many homes still lack sufficient cooling systems or waterproofing measures to cope with changing weather conditions. For example, in Zuva's Kular, only 3 out of 13 buildings under construction or for sale have cooling systems. Although building regulations do not currently mandate cooling systems, some cities have begun implementing stricter requirements. However, experts argue that only regulatory changes will make a real difference. Zeri Nukarnen has spent over €2,000 shopping on Temu, a budget-friendly Chinese e-commerce platform. He purchased many electronic products at prices lower than those in the Finnish market. While Temu has been criticized for promoting unsustainable consumption, Nukarnen argues that most electronic components are still produced in China or Asia, and poorer people cannot afford the high prices of major retail chains. He also saved travel costs by shopping online, and although he made a few poor purchases, he remains satisfied with most of the items he bought. Many vacant buildings in the Helsinki metropolitan area have become temporary cultural centers where art and creativity are encouraged. These buildings, initially slated for demolition, have attracted the interest of artists, event organizers, and small businesses due to low rental prices and creative spaces. For example, the Karen area in Espoo and Muurin Puhos in Vantar have become prominent temporary cultural centers. Professor Parnu Savalainen from Aalto University commented that temporary use not only benefits the community but can also save buildings from being demolished. He stressed that there are no negative impacts from such temporary uses and believes demolition should be a last resort. This approach also helps alleviate the demand for affordable workspaces for the creative industries while contributing to environmental preservation and improving community health through culture and art.